Hello guys and welcome to episode 36 of Plum's Across the Plum Lab series. So today's episode, guys, I feel we're at a point in the episode where some armour is going to be helpful. But if I'm honest, it's not going to be the main focus of the episode. The main focus of the episode, I think, is getting Plum Labs looking a little bit more labified. I think we've done quite a lot of the maintenance stuff. We've got, some resources. And yeah, I think we've kind of got to the stage where I feel like some better looking lab stuff is going to be, top on our priority list, really, rather than doing all the maintenance stuff. So I think for now, like I said, I've just made myself a little bit of basic armour. It's just basically made out of redstone, essentially. But if I'm honest, it gives you quite a bit of protection. I think it's very close to the sort of protection you get from diamond, which, if I'm honest, is pretty cool. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm tempted to say, this section here is where I'd ideally like to build into, but the only problem is there's obviously the slight issue with the problem of this big mob farm in the way, and it's going to be a bit of a pain to move. So I'm just tempted to sort of think about which way I kind of want Plum Labs to go, and if I'm honest, I've just been kind of thinking about that really. But I think, guys, I might have a little bit of a solution, and I think the cheat way would just be to say something like, oh, use travel anchors or something. But if I'm honest, not really my style, not going to lie. I don't feel like travel anchors, just having loads of bits of Plum Labs everywhere is going to be a good idea. But the fact we've got so much infrastructure down already is something that I don't really want to, get rid of completely. So this mob farm, I'm almost tempted to make it its own little enclosure kind of thing. Like, I feel like the tree farm could possibly be moved if worst comes worst, really. I think that's something that I'm not overly, 100% where, that has to stay exactly where it is. Now, that's not how I feel about that at all. But I do feel like maybe getting rid of this forge area at the side and expanding left at least. So this forge, as much as I've got some stuff in it, I've not got, anything that I'm overly precious about inside of it. So what I might do is potentially get rid of this stuff. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and tear down this forge, basically. It's not something that we really needed. So I've not used it for probably at least about maybe 15, 20 episodes. Maybe less than that, actually, because we've been using it for the gears and stuff. But of course, other than making gears out of it, I'm not really sure we have much of a need for this forge, if I'm honest. And on that basis, I'm going to go and tear this guy up. And I believe that's just about everything except for this stuff. So let's get rid of you. I'm surprised my axe isn't broken. I think I've had this broken axe for literally so many episodes, and it's been on this lower durability for this long. It's just not broken yet. It's just somehow clinging on to life somehow. So what I'm going to go and do... Whoa, I've got a lot of stuff to go and dump away. Are you going to... Oh, a little bit of lag there. So this laboratory block, I believe it's not too expensive. And what stuff do we use to make it out of? So I'm just trying to get a little bit of an idea. The leadstone exchanger. How difficult would this be to upgrade this get to a hardened exchanger? Because I feel like a hardened one may be a reasonable idea to make. So I can simply just press U on this guy, and he basically shows me the recipe for him. So he needs a few of these guys, which isn't too big of a deal. He needs one of these guys, which I believe that was the problem we had before. We didn't have any resonant ender. I believe that's why before I was like, oh, this is a bit of a scary recipe. So can I now make you? Yes, I can. Can I make you? As soon as I make one of these guys. Why are you not working? I'm sure I just made one of you, didn't I? And are you gonna... Maybe I didn't. Flux Basic. Yeah, I'm sure I made one of those guys. And it just decided all of a sudden, hey, I don't want to work. Maybe it does require a flux. Hang on. Oh, that's why I'm derping. I'm being incredibly derpy, guys. So you are being the problem because why are you... In fact, hang on, yeah. That is being a bit of a pain in the arse, actually. Why... I'm not sure what it's even called. The guy that I need. So it's a flux capacitor. I need the basic flux capacitor. See, I did make another one, and it just didn't really want to work for some reason. Why is that a thing? I didn't realise that guy would be causing me any issues. So, can I now make you? What am I missing? Oh, you're just being the problem again. Well, I don't know why it doesn't like putting these guys in here. Kind of peculiar. I feel like 7x7 is probably going to be good enough, and I'm going to go and stick this guy, at least momentarily, in here. And how much of a... Okay, you got plenty of durability on you. And I feel like the excavator... Do we have... Oh, you're not called the excavator. I think you call like something to do with dirt. Yeah, there we go. The dirt remover 2000. So what I'm going to go and quickly do is hopefully try and move some of this stuff. So what I might do is punch myself a little bit of a hole here and have the next section of the lab be straight through here. I might have it be double doors, or... I think, given the size of the room, I might have to go triple doors. Not going to lie. Not, you know, overly worried about that. So I believe, what sort of panel are you? Because that's going to be a bit of a pain. I believe it's the smooth paneling for the floor. Is it just the tile panels? I believe it's probably just the tiles. Yeah, it's tiles. I feel like I have a bit of a 2-block interim between the rooms. Why am I using this stupid thing? It's something, I have this sort of feeling that I like want the buildings to be kind of symmetrical. I just have like a different experiment kind of thing in each. I don't know. I'm not quite convinced of how I want to, you know, set this whole Plum Labs thing out yet. I am happy though the fact we are like, you know, 36 into this 36 episodes into I can't. What is happening with my words, guys? We're now 36 episodes in, and we're finally actually, you know, I feel like we're getting somewhere with actually building Plum Labs. I'm tempted to say we're going to have to build it up a bit. Like, I'm not sure how we're going to do this. I mean, I suppose... Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world that we're currently in the floor. Well, I did not anticipate item ducts being a bit of a problem going through the floor. I believe what I might do is actually... Because I believe this is the item ducts that send the line back through here. I believe I do have a little bit of a temporary fix. Well, it's not even necessarily a temporary fix. It's probably going to be a permanent fix. To solve this problem, and what I might do is actually just reroute this guy underneath the lab rather than doing this. Since I think if this is going straight through, we are going to definitely have some problems. See, this stuff all needs to come out anyway, so I might as well just dig it straight through. I might as well come to the end. Yeah, there we go. So let's just dig this guy around a little bit. The floor I don't necessarily need to dig out because I can just use the exchanger. I think that's just kind of dawned on me actually. Okay, so let's use my hammer to get rid of this stuff. And the excavator on the stuff on the roof I'm probably going to get rid of later down the line. So you just go straight down there. So this may not be the worst thing in the world to fix actually. Since if I set this guy up like so... to just run straight down here. This shouldn't be too much of an issue. And I don't believe that we're smelting anything anyway because the quarry's off, so there shouldn't have been too much of a disturbance, I hope. Hopefully no items are in it. That'll be the worst thing if there are actually items in this thing. Okay, so I think what I'm going to go do now is see if I can excavate this roof out just a little bit. Yep, there we go. That's perfectly fine. I'm just establishing how big I want this room to be. Like, I don't want it to necessarily be a perfect square. I kind of want there to be a few extra dimensions going on. Does that sound like a plan, guys? I think I'll just need to kind of come up with a bit of a plan of what I want to happen in this room. Wow, my axe that I've had for so many episodes is finally broken. Kind of surprising, actually. I did not expect that to actually break. Are you... I feel like you guys are, like, ready, and I just can't quite tell because the, I'm not being told your growth rate yet. So, let's see. Let's see if we can just get ourselves... I don't want to go for a diamond axe. It seems a little bit, Oh, you can actually make an axe out of this stuff. I did not realise redstone crystals you could, like, make a full set of tools out of. That's pretty cool, actually. The fact that I've basically just made an axe out of essentially just redstone. So let's see if we can get rid of this stupid tree. I'll say stupid tree. It's kind of a nice looking tree, I'm not going to lie, but he's kind of wrong place, wrong time sort of deal. He's been there for a good few episodes, so it's not like, you know, I've got rid of him in cold blood. So you are still, you can hold quite a bit of power, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's not a bad thing that he holds a lot of power. One thing I should probably look up though is this laboratory block. So I forgot the recipe for laboratory blocks again. I don't think it's like overly expensive. In fact, we've run out of smooth stone. Wow, I was expecting us to run out of nether quartz first, but wow, it has to be smooth stone. Let's see. So if I smelt some smooth stone up in you and some smooth stone up in you, that shouldn't be the end of the world, right? Yeah, I feel like that's not going to be the end of the world. So if I now get this white panelled laboratory block and I change this into tiles. So it's just the tile block. And, you know, I feel like the exchanger is probably going to have enough power to do what we need him to do. For now, anyways. Although one thing I should probably do quickly is check the controller. So, exchanger mode switch. So it's period. I forgot we made it period. So period and comma. So they're the ones that we need to actually do. So I believe comma is probably going to be this guy. And period. Yep, there we go. So if I set it to this. Out of block. So we need it to be this guy, and there we go, boom. We can now officially change all the flooring into laboratory blocks. Although we may not need to go to here, because this is probably where the walls are going to be. I should probably just outline though that we don't actually need the, whatchamacallit, the laboratory block to go out this far. I'm possibly going to have the room longer than the previous lab. I think I might make this into a bit of a bigger lab, actually. Rather than just having, you know, the lab be completely one size, which I believe it is at the minute. I think that room is basically just a complete square, and if I'm probably just gonna have that be like the reception of the lab sort of thing. See, how are we doing for durability on these guys? The durability on our tools we're doing pretty good for. The one thing I might go quickly do is sleep through the night, actually, just so we can, you know, get rid of this nighttime that's coming on. There you go. Just slept through the night, guys. And I feel one thing that I feel we probably are going to need at some point is wireless charging. So I think being able to just charge our tools on the go seems like a good idea. And I think with the Tinker's tools, you can put flux capacitors on them. The sword I'm not so bothered about, but stuff like the excavator and the hammer, having like a flux capacitor on them doesn't sound like it'd be the worst idea. I'm not sure if you can still do it. I know you could definitely do it in the previous versions. So we may have to just sort of go along with it and see if it works. Hopefully it will. Like I said, I'm hopeful. In fact, you know, I might go and try that now, actually. I believe it was just a flux capacitor used to put on them. So if I use... In fact, we made the hardened capacitors anyway, didn't we? So if I make a few of these guys, some basic ones, they don't stack, which is interesting. And they also don't seem to want to work with these crafting grids. So if I collect some of these guys and I look up the tool forge... Can I stick? So if I get this guy, I'm not sure if he'll work because the problem is his durability isn't quite up to scratch. I believe that's one thing you had to do. Like, so I'm not sure if this is going to work necessarily, but we can try it out and see if it works. So if I stick this guy in, and are you gonna work no matter what I do? No, I believe the days where you used to do this have gone. Since yeah, that is not going to work. It was worth a try, guys. I mean, can you at least give me that it was at least worth a try? Although while I'm here, I might actually go and repair my excavator real quick. Yep, there you go. Excavator's now all fully repaired up and ready to take on life. The Dirt Remover 2000. I think it definitely is worthy of that name. I think he does remove dirt pretty quick. I mean, he's not got any redstone upgrades, so he definitely could be a little bit quicker. But, not gonna lie, still pretty quick. So I feel like if I just knock a few more holes in the wall here, and take a little bit more dirt out, I might do a bit of like terrain leveling just so it doesn't look like the lab's completely in the ground sort of thing. But I think for now, so long as we have the basis for the lab being built, I don't think that's going to be too much of a worry for us. And yes, I do apologise if this looks like a gigantic mess. So let's just use these guys. I think I'm just gonna go get a little bit of cobblestone, just so I can level this out just a little bit. But did our laboratory blocks... Okay, we've got some extra tiles here. So I think what I'm going to go and do is get my exchanger back out. And hopefully this shouldn't be too much of an issue. So to see how much quicker this is with the exchanger, guys, I think this is definitely why I wanted one of these guys. I think you are going to be... Oh, you're going to be wall anyway, aren't you? So that's not going to be too much of an issue. I may have dug this out a little bit much, given that's just going to be wall. But, you know, not quite the end of the world. I don't know why I'm doing this as well when I could just use the exchanger. Okay, out of block. Ooh. A little bit of a... We've picked off some white laboratory blocks, but we could probably do with crafting up some more. And in fact, what I'm going to go and do is dump all this stuff in the system, actually, given that we don't actually need any of it. Yeah, there we go. Let's just dump that in the system. So, back to laboratory block. I think even a quarter of the stack is probably going to be enough to finish this guy off real quick. I've just noticed one thing: we do need to ever so slightly whack another hole into this wall. I might just go ahead and clear it out a little bit more. Actually, I might just take it down to say about. Yeah, I think there. That's probably going to be a reasonable amount. Yeah, there we go. I think I'm pretty happy with that. We've got a nice little basis for another little side lab that can be going off here. And we can then, I think, yeah, we can sort of infinitely expand it. So we don't even need to necessarily go back that much. We can kind of go around, you know, sort of take on the terrain. Yeah, I think we can just see how things go. I'm not, you know, in too big of a rush. So what laboratory block do we use for this? Which is going to be quite interesting. I know it definitely is laboratory block. I'm just kind of intrigued to see which one it actually is. I don't think it's the default one, although it could be the default one, and I'm just being a bit of a derp. Is this the default one? Yeah, I believe this is just the default laboratory block, actually, without, you know, chiseling it about and stuff. Not, you know, too worried about that. I think this is something that's going to... I'm not quite sure how to route this up. I mean, given that I want it sort of flush with the build, and I could potentially facade it, I suppose. Although, I think what I'm going to do, at least for now, is just bite the bullet and route it the way it was originally. And route it up probably just like this. Since it keeps everything looking... Ooh, we have ever so slightly fallen in a hole. So it keeps everything looking flush, which isn't, you know, like the end of the world. I keep forgetting I can fly. That's one thing I need to, like, you know, actually bear in mind. So if I go around here like this... and build the laboratory block round like this. I feel like this isn't going to be the end of the world. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go build this room up and I will be right back. Okay, guys, so we're basically now at a point where I've now actually built that room up. I'm just, you know, going through and putting some levers and lights and stuff in there. Just so, you know, it looks a little bit less kind of daunting in here. I'll say daunting, you know. Dark and scary and likely to spawn monsters is probably the most accurate description I can probably pull. I think I decided to go with the same theme, you know, sort of wall, roof, and window-wise. I think it looks kind of nice. I think we can. It does have definitely have some potential to have some nice stuff in it. I'm tempted to say have another line here because I feel like the fact that we have walling on the other side. You know what? I kind of like that. I'm almost tempted to say make this entirely full of laboratory block, but I don't know. I kind of like that. How it just makes it, you know, clear that this, you know, this is like the room divide. And if I'm honest, I think we could probably, you know, get a little bit of a reception up in here. So we're getting pretty close to the wrapping up point, but I feel like before we wrap up the episode, I do kind of want to get a little bit of a reception up in here. And do we have any kind of... I know in like Mega Construction I do use stuff from Decacraft and stuff. But I think in this I may have to improvise just a little bit. So I feel like maybe having maybe like some treated wood fences, maybe like this, and carpet. How does that sound? Maybe not for a desk actually. I think maybe just something like some slabs. And you know, we do have treated wood slabs actually. I I feel like this whole treated wood desk idea is maybe not going to be the worst idea in the world, actually. I'm tempted to condense it down just a little bit, although saying it is, I think that's perfectly centralised with the room, actually, so, you know, I'm not going to actually play around with that too much. We could probably do, again, a bit of a seat going, and oak wood's probably going to be the most common. Do we really not have any, like, planks? That's kind of shocked we don't have many planks, actually. I mean, given how much oak wood we've actually got in the system to say we've got no planks, kind of, you know, surprised about that. I have a bit of a desk up here. Now, I don't believe we have any laptops. Do you have any laptops? No, I don't have any laptops. The only thing I could potentially do is put myself a little bit of an open computer there. But I think given how much of a pain it was, like, you know, doing that for the reactor, I'm not too, you know, thrilled at the idea of, you know, going through that whole thing again. Although, if I'm honest, guys, I think the fact that, like, you know, before we started this episode, like, this wasn't even here, like that, all we had was this little guy, I'm not, you know, too worried about that. I think we've definitely made quite a bit of progress over the last 3 episodes. You know, we've got our power system up and running a bit better. You know, I think we had a reactor upgraded the episode before that. I've got a nifty control system. We've got all of our flux ducts up and running. I'm, you know, pretty happy too. You know, we're making pretty decent progress over these last few episodes. I'm just hoping that we can sort of continue the trend with how these episodes are going. And I think, yeah, we can do it, getting a few sort of aesthetic things put inside Plum Labs. I think a reception area, I'm kind of, you know, happy about. I think it's something we definitely kind of needed in the laboratory. I could probably maybe do again like a sign or something up at some point, but we'll have to see how that goes in the near future. So thank you for watching, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this video of Plum Labs. Thank you for watching, guys.
Built